Yes. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on these bad boys right here. This is the white and cement Air Jordan 4. These are actually called the White Oreos because they do play up on I don't want to say it's an original colorway. It's an original Retro Plus colorway from 1999, back when retros were revamped. And the original Oreo was a black base shoe. This guy right here is kind of a flip version of that. So we got a white base instead. And I really do love these a lot. Like, this is right up my alley. My favorite Jordan, my favorite look, favorite color blocking on a shoe. As far as like wearability goes, that all white look, splatter print, a little bit of red.
I like it muy macho.
Now these guys do come with a special box, which some retros have been getting, some retros have not been getting, but it is just a typical Jordan 4 box. It's got the cement print all the way around there. And again, these guys right here are just a flipped version or a slight twist to the original Oreo colorway. Back from 1999, my high school years, there was 2 Retro Plus colorways that released alongside 2 original colorways. The 2 originals were the black and cement and the white and cement. And then the Retro Plus colorways were the black Oreo as well as the white, and I believe it was UNC is what they were calling them, but it has the midnight navy, the pearlescent coat. Now the black Oreos were retroed before, and that was back in 2015. We do have a review of that shoe, so if you wanted to, you can, or no, you would click over here, but the thumbnail's gonna be over here, right?
That is what it is. Yep, yep, yep.
And these guys right here, the only thing that I would have done differently to make these a little bit closer to those and be a true flipped version is remove the netting on the side panels and the tongue and made it that tumbled leather that was a little bit perforated and all of that stuff. I think that would have been the best look, especially for this shoe, since the white netting will always yellow and it yellows really quickly. Like my white metallic purple Jordan 4s, barely wore those because I wore them like 3 times and then the netting yellowed. And I was like, dude, I wore them 3 times. They still look brand new, except for the yellowing. And while I prefer the netting, because I think that it looks fantastic, I do also prefer my shoes to look as good as possible for as long as possible, because the yellowing thing, I didn't do that. I don't mind the clear soles when those yellow, but the netting just, for some reason it bothers me. It's one of those like weird pet peeves that I have. So I would have preferred the leather build instead of the netting build. But other than that, I think that these came out fantastic. One of my favorite things that they did is actually the liner. They did not make it white, they made it silver or gray, whatever you want to call it. I really like this because this means that I'm going to be able to wear these without making them look dingy. The outsole right here looks great. It's all white. Some people are going to hate that because for some reason they think that when it's not white, their shoe bottoms don't get dirty. I'd hate to let you know, but as soon as these touch the ground, they're dirty. It doesn't matter what color they are. You do have a slight gray hit at the toe, which I think is awesome. I do wish that there was a little gray one right here, but when I was looking at it, that means that that whole rubber piece would have to be gray, and that would look a little funny. So I do like the way that everything turned out. And then there is that little red Jumpman right in the middle. Looks fantastic. A lot of people are gonna say, why isn't there Nike Air on these? And I mean, I get it, I guess, but this is not an original colorway. It doesn't tell an original story. Therefore, there is no original Nike Air branding. Also, again, this is a twist on a Retro Plus colorway, which featured the Jumpman. That's when they started this back in 1999, because 1994 was the original retros and they all flopped, which, can you believe that? Time machine, back to 1994. Grab the Jordan 1 retro, the Jordan 2 retro, and the Jordan 3 retro, and just bring them back to 2021 after the last dance. Put them up on eBay, boom. Those things legit went to clearance. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, fast forward to 1999, and that's when they redid or retried the retro treatment. That was after he retired again for the 2nd time, and they did it a little bit more smart this time. They reintroduced the line as far as the original stuff goes, like this. They kept the Nike Air branding, and then they also introduced brand new looks, like stuff like this, even though they were black, but still new looks to the shoes with Jumpman branding to let you know that they were different. These were originals, these were retros. Nowadays, everybody just wants everything to say Nike Air, and it just shouldn't. The insoles on these guys are that cheap ass Ortholite stuff. I don't like it. I do wish that the polyurethane would just be back, because we were checking out the grapes, and the grape retros from 06. They had a great polyurethane insole. That should just come standard, especially for your price. $190, $200, whatever it is that the standard is at this point. Polyurethane insoles should be a standard in these shoes based off price alone. Now the shape on these guys is fantastic. It's not quite like the originals, but it's as close as we've gotten. They started this with the Black Cats. I think it was the first one that had that shape. They've kind of veered away from it a little bit on some colorways. Some colorways, they look just like this. I believe that's due to them manufacturing these shoes in just multiple factories, so they're not all identical. However, you can see, what the hell? Like, look at that slope. I just don't like it. I love the way that this one looks. You can even, if you really look, you can see where the paneling is like different heights and all that stuff. So they really just retooled the entire upper, which I think they deserve a round of applause for because that's awesome. The grays are definitely different though, I will say. It says Tech Gray on the box of these. I believe these ones had that on the box too. I can't find the box, so I don't know, but they're different. So it's not the same. Might be the gloss. This is a little glossy, but yeah, these guys definitely not the same. The splatter print is definitely different too. Not as heavy on the new one, which I like. I think that this looks better. I also wish that the Jumpman did have the splatter on it. However, the original Oreos, the black ones, did not, so I understand why they didn't. Just would have been a little cool touch, in my opinion. Now, the leather on these guys is a nice soft leather. I'm not gonna say that it's premium because it's not. It's a split grain. It's typically what we see on Jordan brand products, Nike products, all that stuff when they use genuine leather. Genuine leather in the United States is a little bit different than actual genuine leather because the way that our government works is they allow just a certain percentage of leather to be inside of the leather for them to call it genuine leather. Whereas genuine raw leather is typically something completely different.
It's like bugs in your food.
You're allowed a little bit of flies in there. You know what I mean? Like it's just protein. It is actual leather for all of my vegan sneakerhead friends. So you might want to stay away from these if you're one of those like super strong vegans that does not even wear animal products. And for all of my regular sneakerheads, again, it's a nice soft leather. It's got a nice texture to it. That texture is a fake texture as well. So you have a split grain leather, which is basically, I've explained this many times over the 12 years we've been here, but you have the cow skin, right? So if you just strip my skin off my arm and then you put it inside of a chemical bath, it's gonna swell up because it's gonna soak up all of those chemicals. And then with very fine blades, they're gonna go in, they're gonna start cutting layers off of my hide. The top one is the full grain, the real one. And usually that stuff is not as treated as harshly as the underlayers because those underlayers are cheaper, thinner. And then that's what they use on stuff like this to get this texture on there. That's actually polyurethane. It's usually a spray coat, but it could also be a sheet that they glue on. It just kind of depends on what they want to use. But that's how we're able to get this like kind of uniform look on a shoe. Whereas leather, like actual skin, is super inconsistent. It's natural. This, manufactured. One of my favorite things though is that just like the original Oreos, this back tab right here is leather. And I have to tell you, I love the plastic tabs on these things. I think they look great, but for some reason, especially the newest ones, like those Fire Reds, man, they shred my Achilles every time I wear them. They're like unwearable. This is just kind of what I prefer right now, and I just think that this is great. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear in your Air Jordan 4s is exactly what I would recommend. Some people like you actually go up half a size because of that guy right there with your pinky toe. For me, they fit me perfectly, true to size, especially once I break these in. 4s are a shoe that I wear quite often. What do you think about these?
I think they're very clean looking. I do have a question though.
Clean looking in a good way though?
Yeah.
Like you would wear these?
Yeah.
If you were into them. Is what I'm getting at.
They hurt my pinky toe even when I go up half a size. You gotta stretch them out.
No, I know, but if they didn't, then you'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Do you prefer one or the other?
I like these.
Why? Less black?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your question? Or?
Okay, so we learned thanks to some of you guys. First of all, I thought it was so cool how many like chemists there are.
Oh, the fragrance thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
because in the Jordan 1 Ronald McDonald's, I had said...
Those are pink, by the way. They're
Yeah,
not
they're
red.
pink.
People are like, oh, then the Iron Mans. Bro, Iron Man, I never wear pink.
Yeah. So anyways, back to what I was getting at.
Sorry.
Is you cannot trademark a scent.
You just trademark the mix.
But
in
you would
doing,
have to release your formula like Coke, and that's why like Coke
Yeah,
doesn't...
which is exactly what I thought. Like, you don't trademark that type of shit.
So anyways, I know this is not the Oreo, but it is the Oreo. So what I wanted to get at is, granted, I get it. Like, people have made these terms, like the names. Do they actually list Oreo? Okay, because I was gonna say, shouldn't like the cookie company get something out of this?
Yeah, so that actually, the Ferrari Jordans, we got a cease and desist for the yellow Ferraris for calling them the yellow Ferraris. And I replied back to Ferrari and said, F off, I didn't name them that. Who are you trying to sue? But anyways, the internet coins these terms and they just run with them and you can't do about it. Neither can the brand. So the brand typically will change a name on sneakers.
So sometimes, because I hear these terms thrown around a lot, and so I just wanted to clarify, being like, is it really called the Oreos?
It's not official. You'll never hear the brand ever say, these are the Oreos, unless they actually did a collab like that Kyrie pack. Where they did it with Kicks and all of that stuff.
Didn't Adidas do an Oreo? Or was it just the cookies and cream and they sent Oreo-like cookies with it?
Correct.
Okay.
Which I think cookies and cream is not a trademark name.
Okay.
I believe that's like a flavor, like mint chip. One thing I did forget to talk about though is the tech specs. We typically go over that. There was just a lot to go over because I was so excited about the shoe, the history, what it tied back to. The tech specs are a polyurethane midsole that is done up beautifully in splatter print. And then we also have a visible air sole unit right there in the back.
Encapsulated in the front.
That's correct. And all of Havana whiteisms, you probably didn't see them because I have beautiful B-roll that will go over that. Anyways, that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. This is the Air Jordan 4 in the White Oreo colorway. Thank you so much again for watching, and until next time, guys, have a good one. So with that being said...
Wait, my face.
Ugh, my face.
Someday I will know where that comes from. I'm pretty sure
We
it's a
still don't-
Madagascar movie.
We still don't know?
I think it's the lady who's like trying to take out Alex. I think she one time says, "Ugh, my face."
Who's Alex?
The lion.
Oh.